Hello my YouTube friends, no prizes on what I'm doing today. We're going to be doing a service on the Honda CRV. It's a 2016 model. So we got our oil, air filter, oil filter, diesel filter, old jacks, trolley jack, my best friend cardboard. Can't rate it high enough. If ever doing any jobs, a bit of cardboard underneath the motor mops up any little bit of mess you might drop or anything like that. Got our oil pan, and that's basically it. So I think I'll have a little bit of a grumble before I crack on. It's quite a nice car. This is fairly newish, and I sort of get a bit annoyed with what they charge, you know, for servicing. So, well, not so much your independent garages, but your main dealers, you know. So I usually do a service on the Ford Transit, and there's my Toyota Celica there. I've always done that myself anyway. So yeah, I think they do take the mix, especially the main dealers. You know, oils. I know the price of oil, and I know the price of labour, and you can guaranteed of a very big figure by the time they put those two little things in there. So do it yourself, you know, there's not much to it. It's pretty straightforward. Most vehicles are the same. There's a few exceptions, but most people can handle it. So I'm going to warm up the vehicle, just run it for a couple minutes just to get the oil a little bit warm, so it just flows out a bit easier, and we'll crack on with that then. Right, I've jacked the car up a little bit, only just to give myself a bit more working space. It's a fairly tallish car anyway, SUV. And I've yet to locate everything, so that's obviously going to be our air filter in there. Going to have a little hunt around where the diesel filter is and oil filter. I can't initially see it there, but underneath is very well tied up with all the trays and everything underneath there, so hopefully at least the oil filter might make itself visible in a minute. And as you can see, I got all my cardboard, so we know about 5% of the oil is going to manage to go into the oil tray there, as per usual. But we'll crack on with that, and I shall report back. Right, after removing this under tray with some very well welded in little screws, these, so if anyone's doing, I thought I was turning the wrong way, they were on that tight. I thought, I'm not really familiar with these type of fixings, but you just had to persist. I thought they were going to snap, they were on that tight, you know, they're just sort of rusted in a bit there. It's, I've now revealed where the sump plug is and oil filter. I don't know if we can see it or not. Can we see it? There's the oil filter and there's the sump plug. So we can crack on with that. So I'll get the tray underneath there. So if anyone's trying this, remember this is a Honda CRV on a 16 plate, 2016 diesel. So that's what you got to do to get to the sump plug and oil filter on this particular vehicle. So I'll do that. I still haven't found where the diesel filter is yet, so we'll have a little hunt for that later on. Not too bad by my standard. Minimal mess. We've got the last little bits coming off there, and it's come out really nicely. So I think a tiny few little drops, and that was just off the actual plug as I took it out the way. But so we'll just wait for that to drain, and then we'll remove the oil filter, which is sort of, see if we can do that without, I can't really see it at that angle. Oh, there it is, that blue one there. So we'll wait for that to drain, and then we'll remove that oil filter. And what I'll do as well is I'll just take the oil cap off as well, which will, in case it's causing any sort of vacuum or anything like that. So I always leave it on initially, just to sort of help control the flow a little bit. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but we'll do that, and then it'll just be a case of screw on a new oil filter. That was very difficult to take off, by the way. It was a 17mm bolt on there, and a nut rather, and it was very, very tight. It was, I don't think that was torqued up to spec. It seemed a lot tighter than I'm used to, and then I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that that oil filter behaves itself and comes off easily, because people often over tighten that, and all sorts of profanities and swear words come out as I'm trying to undo that usually. So we'll get that off now. My worst fears were confirmed. Ended up having to go out and buy this special tool to take the oil filter off, and there's a much cheaper version with like a chain on it, but you just can't get the access with that, so I splashed out on this. It was nearly 26 quid. So we've got it off. I'll drag him here. Ooh, look at that. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's no spillage, no mess. I'll probably do it now as I pull this out. Huge amount of oil, by the way, came out when I took that out. I was really surprised. I thought it'll just be the oil filter which is full, but quite a substantial amount of oil came out as well, so that's something to be aware of when you're doing this job. Let's have a look what we got here. There it is. That's actually a blue oil filter. Doesn't look it. And I'll just get the other one just to make a quick comparison. There it is. Happens to be Bosch, but I don't think that makes much difference. And I will be doing what I always do, regardless of what anyone says. I will be hand tightening those as tight as I can with just my hands, no tools, and I do that all the time. Never ever ever have I had a failure. Never really heard of anyone losing oil through the oil filter. Maybe it happens, I don't know. You've got to be damn careless to cause that, I think. So visually they look about the same size. We'll screw that on. I'll just put some oil on the seal there, so hopefully the next person, probably me, won't struggle so much. So we'll get that on. We shall be filling from here with lovely clean oil. Hopefully the motor appreciates it, and we'll report back. Right, something that's often debated is, do you pre-fill the oil filter? My personal view, and the way I've always done it, I always pre-fill it. I always think that's a little bit less for the engine to pump through. It's not going in dry. It's sort of like priming it away is my logic. And at the same time I get a nice bit of clean oil around there, so I'll fill that right to the brim because the oil filter fits in like that. Obviously if you had, sometimes you get top applicated sort of filters, that wouldn't work. So for this one I'm going to fill him up. Right, in typical British fashion, the weather's taken a turn for worst. See, it's just starting to rain. I'm going to do the air filter. I've done the oil filter. Obviously put new oil in. Keep checking it as I fill it up. And oil filter, air filter, and then the diesel filter I'm going to leave for another day, just because the weather's turning and I don't want to be doing that in the rain. And perhaps we'll do a little catch-up video on that. If it looks like it brightens up at all, perhaps I'll have a go at doing the diesel filter, but I'm panicking a bit because we need the car tomorrow and it's about 4:30 now in the evening, so I want to make sure I get that done. So I'm going to fill that up, we're going to check the oil, and then we'll do the air filter next. Right, I'll just do one last check on the oil level. Alright, how am I going to do this with one hand? Alright, I think we're just going to do a visual, let it drip. We focused on there, we're bang on the maximum mark there. I don't know if you can how well we can see that. It's really nice and clean. So we'll start the engine. I got a little bit left in the container there if we need a top up. So we'll start it, run it for a couple minutes, and then check the levels again. So we've done the air filter, we've done the oil filter. I haven't put the under tray yet, so I usually just run it for the first run. I'll just let it run, and then that will ensure me that it's all nice and dry and there's no leaks there. So, and then I'll put the under tray back in. And even while those nuts, which I found really difficult to take off, I've oiled them all up again, so hopefully the next time they won't be so stubborn to come off. So here we go, we'll start her up and we'll take it from there. Right, I've got access to the air filter, and the way I did it is, there's the top of the air filter box. There's clips all the way around, so I just unclipped those, and I also disconnected the air intake, and I also disconnected the, I think it's the mass airflow sensor, which is there, and we've taken that off, and it reveals the air filter. So let's whip that out, and hopefully, oh my gosh, that did need changing. That is absolutely disgusting. So let's grab the new one, and hopefully they look the same. Quick, quick, quick. Not enough hours in the day. Here it is. Let's whip it out. Oh, first glasses look promising. Nice and shiny. Put it side by side. Very nice. So let's turn that over, and this one, have a good comparison. Old, new. Happy breathing car. Let's get that in now then. Right, engine's been running for a couple minutes. I'm going to turn it off, wait a couple minutes, we'll check the oil level, and hopefully I've got nothing else to report. In that it's all good, but we'll give a final check out, and we'll see how everything is. But everything sounds nice, no strange lights on in the dash. So we'll have a quick check there. Everything's sweet. So we'll just do one final checkup, and if we need a top up, which I suspect now it's pumped around the engine, we'll just need a little bit of a top up, but we should be good then. So just a quick video on we've obviously inspected the under of the engine. It's all nice and dry. I put a bit of brake cleaner as well, just to double check, you know, get it nice and clean so we know it's dry and everything. So I'll put all that under tray back on, button everything up, and that was basically doing a service on this Honda CRV diesel 2016 model. So join me again, and I'm sorry I haven't done the diesel filtered, but we're just a bit panicking. The rain didn't come too much in the end, but it was just in case. I thought it was actually going to tip it down, so I'll just do that another day, and at least the car's ready to be used tomorrow, and there's no panic, and so perhaps I'll do a separate little video on the diesel filter. So until next time, that was a service on a Honda CRV, and we'll catch you in another video.